All right. So we're here to talk about that tables, ladders, and chairs and stairs, I guess. I don't know. They officially changed the name. I saw them like, they were they were pushing it like tables, ladders, chairs, and stairs, and I'm like, so is that the name or is it not the name? Because Renee Young was like TLC, but then they would be like and stairs, and I was like, what? Do you know if they actually changed the name? Just to, we got to get through the name first before we can get to the show.
I I think it was just a gimmick because Super Cena likes to throw stairs now, and then Big Show got into throwing stairs, and then what I didn't like is like they had a stairs match, and they're like they've never used stairs like this before. Stairs have never been legal before, and I'm like, they're legal in every no disqualification match ever.
And and even if it's not a disqualification match, you're not gonna get disqualified for just throwing someone into the stairs. So
Yeah, exactly.
who knows? Who knows? But we got to start with the pre-show before we can even get to the main show because we had a little pre-show here. I'm not sure if you got to watch the pre-show. Um,
I kind of watched the match. I really was not into it at all. Uh,
Yeah, that was the main part I tried to watch. Like I started watching the pre-show a little late, so I was like, all right, you know what? I'll just skip to the match, and then I'll skip to back to live TV or whatever, and that's what I kind of did. So, and for some reason, I don't know why, my network was kind of skipping. I try to get on my PlayStation, which never works. Try to use my computer, and it was like it would play, and then it would like stop for a second, then it would like come back on, then it would like try to catch up. So it was being really weird. So if I missed some of the matches, and if I missed some parts, it's because of that. Blame the network. Blame the network. Just blame the network. Okay, don't blame me.
I
All
felt
right.
like it was really glitchy tonight. Like not as much as like the first like WrestleMania when it first came out, but it was glitchier than normal tonight.
Okay, so I wasn't the only one. I thought like I was the only one in the world with like
Yeah,
terrible
because like
network syndrome.
I missed basically the whole Big Show versus Eric Rowan match because I missed the first part of it, so I tried to rewind and it went back to like the pre-show, and then I tried to fast forward and it wouldn't let me. It only would let me go to live, and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, it was just being weird. But speaking of weird, we got Goldust and Stardust. They're weird. Um, they're weird, but I love Stardust. I don't know why. Like, I don't know if it's just that or what. I don't. I have no idea. I just love Stardust, and maybe because I love Cody Rhodes. That's probably the main reason. But I just love Stardust for some reason. I don't really understand why. But yeah, Goldust and Stardust going against Kofi Kingston. This was basically a match on the pre-show, and it was a match. The feud was pretty much based off of the tag team turmoil match that they had before, a couple of weeks ago on Raw to determine number one contenders. And basically, Goldust and Stardust screwed a New Day out of title their title shot. So I mean, I didn't really write much down for this. But let's get what I did. So the speed and power combo with Big E and Kofi Kingston, I really like that. But I think it's going to be interesting to see more of Xavier Woods too, because Xavier Woods has been there, but we haven't really seen him at all. Like even with the New Day thing, we've kind of seen Kofi and Big E a lot. But I know even before the New Day stuff, you didn't see a lot of Xavier Woods, and I may be wrong, and I didn't watch NXT beforehand either, so I wouldn't know. The only thing I know about Xavier Woods is Consequences Creed. That's the only thing I can go back to. So I haven't seen much of his WWE stuff. Um, I liked him as Consequences Creed. It was cool. And then he kind of reminded me of, I don't know if you ever watched Key and Peele Casey, but you
Yeah.
some of the people watching will know what I'm talking about. Like they were doing one where this rap battle, and I think it was Keegan would like just like every time he would say something during the rap battle, he'd be like, ah, like just out of nowhere, and And that's what Xavier Woods reminded me of, because he would just like randomly just be like, yeah, like just randomly start celebrating. I was like, all right. I, I was like, well, that's what that reminds me of. Um, so I guess, and I've been thinking about this, and it just kind of came to me tonight. So Big E has the new version of the People's Elbow with that splash he does, because he goes, he goes and he runs over top of the person, then he goes and does the splash. So there you go. He's the most electrifying, second most electrifying man in sports entertainment. So there you go. Off that disaster kick by, I don't know if he still calls it a disaster kick at this point, but after the disaster kick, that was a very close near fall. After the disaster kick by Stardust, almost said Cody Rhodes. These names getting confusing. But we got the big ending DDT combo. It's not really a DDT, but he kind of like pushes him down. It's kind of hard to explain via writing. But that's actually called the Midnight Hour for the win for the New Day. I'm excited for New Day. I want to see more of the New Day, and I really want to see more. I think Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston will be an exciting team. So what do you think of this first pre-show match, or whatever you got to see of it?
Before I get into the pre-show, I was actually happy that I know the past couple WWE pay-per-views I've complained that they don't like do any sets anymore. It's just like the Raw set with like a ring apron. I do like at least with TLC, at least they have like tables, ladders, and chairs set up like on the stage, so you like if you came into it, you would know, hey, this is TLC. But anyway, I didn't really write too much about this match, but Cody Rhodes is getting really into this Stardust character. It's to the point where even Goldust looks at him like he's insane. Like, and I don't get me wrong, I used to be a big E fan, and I still am, but I just can't take him seriously trying to dance and be in the New Day. Like, he can't do it. Stop. And I do want to see more of Xavier Woods. I mean, we saw him a little bit when he had that feud with friggin' what the hell? Brodus Clay, there we go. All I could think of was Tyrus. When he kind of joined them, and then Brodus had that like heel turn. We saw him a little bit there, but it wasn't really a lot. You know, it wasn't long enough to really cement it in your mind. So I'm glad that they're giving these guys a chance to show what they can do, because for a while there, Big E was just like the muscle for Dolph Ziggler or whatever, and Kofi Kingston has been a jobber forever, except for, the Royal Rumble match when, he gets to do crazy stuff to stay in the match and then still get eliminated. And then Xavier Woods, we just haven't really seen him, which is unfortunate because, back when you saw him as Consequences Creed, he was really good. So I feel like WWE was missing out waiting this long to actually give him something to do. But I don't know. I want WWE to still build up their tag team division more, to give these guys more opponents to work with. There's only so many times you can see Goldust and Stardust versus somebody. There's only so many times you can see the same. Yes.
Oh, the Ascension's coming up really soon, because I don't know if you didn't watch SmackDown, because you don't never watch SmackDown, but they did a promo on the Ascension. They're coming up. I thought about that as soon as you said that. I meant to say something about it, but that's a good thing.
Maybe they'll be there tomorrow on Raw. But yeah, they just need to build up the tag team division to give these tag teams more opponents, so you can, I don't want to see the same matches over and over and over again. It just gets boring. But it was a good match, though, for what it was. I didn't think it was horrible, but it was a pre-show match, so I don't usually really get into pre-show matches because WWE obviously doesn't care about them enough to put them on the actual show. But yeah.
Um, I had something else to say, but I forgot what it was. So that's okay. But we get into the actual show now, and we get a video package basically running down the big feuds, like like we always get, for practically any pay-per-view ever. You're probably gonna see, a video package letting you know what's going down. Versus Luke Harper in a ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. And this was a good. I really did because this match, was a good way to start the show because it got the hometown hero type of guy, in Dolph Ziggler. It was his hometown, so it got him out there, to get the crowd hyped for the show. And he may have won. He may have just won. Not really sure. He may have won in his hometown, which Harper didn't get to keep the belt as long. Okay, he won. I didn't want to give it away, but he won. He won. Okay. I don't know if you saw that he won. Did you see that he won?
Yeah, I missed the beginning of it, so I saw the rest of it though.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. I understand it was his hometown. Good way to get the crowd involved. He won. I can get it, but it feels weird because Harper didn't have it for very long. He kind of won it at a random time, and now he's losing it really, really soon, it feels like.
Yeah.
But let me run through this match. So Harper starts out, he's dominating with the ladders. He doesn't care about ladders, and so at some point in this match, early on in this match, Ziggler is outside of the ring. He grabs a ladder and he's trying to possibly get back in the ring. Harper does a suicide dive into the ladder, kind of on purpose a little bit, but like the way he fell on the ladder looked like it hurt a lot. I think he was actually bleeding after that too. And then, speaking of more blood, we got a slingshot with Ziggler underneath of the ladder, so like the ladder hit him in the face as he hit the slingshot on the ropes, and that busted Dolph Ziggler open. Both men were on top of the ladder, and they fell from the top of the ladder, even though Harper at that point, he thought he had won, but he didn't. Ziggler reverses the powerbomb and hits a facebuster on the ladder. Ziggler hits his typical DDT on Harper as he tries to pull him off of the ladder. A super kick to Harper while the ladder was on Harper's head. He was doing the ECW spin cycle type of move, where you put the ladder on your head and you spin in circles. And Ziggler hit him with the super kick while the ladder was on his head at that point. Ziggler hits Harper with a ladder, and Harper flies off the apron onto a propped up ladder that was like practically right behind him. That kind of looked like it hurt. Ziggler grabbed the belt. He grabs for the belt, but Harper turns over the ladder, and Ziggler has a pretty nice fall on his leg a little bit. It kind of looked a little painful, just the way his leg kind of bent, the way when he fell down. Ziggler uses, one ladder to kind of Shelton Benjamin himself and bridge to another ladder to go after the title. Harper gets up and he tries to go after him because Harper was trapped under the ladder for a second. And plus he got hit by the ladder, so he's trying to get up and go after him. And Ziggler hits a super kick on Harper while they're both on the top of the ladder. And that's how Ziggler wins. Harper falls off the ladder, Ziggler grabs the belt, and Ziggler is still the Intercontinental Champion. So, Casey, what do you think of whatever you saw in this match?
From what I saw, it was a good match. They both took some really good shots with the ladder. Obviously, when you bleed in a ladder match, you had a pretty good ladder match. It wasn't the best ladder match I've seen, and it certainly wasn't the best Dolph Ziggler match that I've seen, but it was really good. Obviously, Ziggler becomes a five-time Intercontinental Champion. And it was in Ziggler's hometown, and he's had a big push in the past couple weeks, so you kind of knew it was going to happen anyway. You had that feeling. It just the pieces were falling into place, and it wouldn't have made sense if he didn't. Um, I don't know what they're going to do with Luke Harper now. I hope they don't just kind of throw him to the bottom of the barrel again, because he definitely deserves to be still be relevant. He's been to all in all of the like federations that all the other great wrestlers have been, like Daniel Bryan, um, you know Seth Rollins, all those guys. He's been in Ring of Honor. He's been in Dragon Gate. He's been in Chikara. He's been in all these wrestling federations, companies, whatever. So he deserves it. It's not like he's just some guy who just got a fluke contract or whatever. He's good, and he should definitely still get a good storyline. Maybe keep him in a feud with Ziggler to try to get the title back. But like I said, good match. I liked it, especially the fact that there was blood, and they didn't try to cover it up real quick like they did with the Kevin Owens match, where as soon as the match ended, the ref ran up with a glove on and a towel. But a good match, definitely.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I like this match. I think these are two of the most talented guys in the company, and two people that I think people are really high on. I think a lot of times Eric Rowan didn't get his credit because of Luke Harper. So
Yeah,
you know, I think these are two guys people are really high on, and I'm really high on. I like them both. I like them both. I want to see this feud continue.
yeah.
So next we have the Usos versus Miz and Mizdow for the tag team titles. Um, Pre-match, I like that the Usos came out and they brought the Slammies to the ring. It kind of makes you feel like the Slammies mean a little bit more, than just a trophy you win one night and then you just put it in your little closet that you put your trophies in. I thought it was cool that they brought it out to the ring, kind of let you know, and lets Miz and Mizdow know, hey, we're the tag team of the year. We're the best tag team of this year.
But they're not.
And Miz, huh?
They're not the champions, though. That's all that matters.
That is true. That is true. But of course, Miz has to one up them and bring out his Slammy that Mizdow technically won, and Mizdow has the stunt Slammy or whatever we're calling whatever he had. I thought that was cool. Miz had new tights, if you didn't notice. And he had pretty sure those were sunglasses he had on the back of his tights. So I thought that was pretty cool that he had sunglasses on the back of his tights. But to start off, we had like a roll-up sequence. We want Mizdow chance, of course. Mizdow's 2 over right now. The Usos took control. Mizdow, obviously being Mizdow, just with everything he does. I don't know if you caught it when. So the Uso, I think it was I think it was Jimmy. He was going for the suplex, and Mizdow gets in the corner, turns upside down like he's in a suplex, and it just falls down. At first, he couldn't get up there, which was even funnier that he couldn't keep his balance.
The best part was
Oh
what?
no! Keep going, keep going.
The best part was it was both Jimmy and Jay doing a double suplex on the Miz, and Mizdow gets in the corner, and the Usos just kind of look at him like, "What the hell are you doing?"
It was actually cool though, because for once Mizdow broke up a pin later on in this match. So that was actually kind of cool to see a little contrast, more than him just like taking the pin. Did you see Jimmy Uso? I'm not sure which one is which, so I picked one to be Jimmy and I picked the other one to be Jay. So did you see Jimmy Uso hit that suicide dive? Haven't seen the Usos hit a suicide dive before, so I thought that was cool. They didn't do the over the top rope thing; they actually did a suicide dive. Did he do a
Yeah,
suicide dive? Pretty sure it is.
I think so.
Okay. I thought so. I thought that was cool because it like changed it up a little bit. You know, usually you were kind of getting used to the Usos doing the same thing, doing that same um, little over the top rope thing where they grab the top rope and pull themselves up or whatever. But they usually do that. So it's cool to see a suicide dive from Jimmy. That's who it is. So Miz hits his patented DDT for a near fall. Plays with the fans. Like I'm gonna tag in Mizdow. No, I'm not. I'm gonna tag in Mizdow. No, I'm not. But he gets rolled up for a near fall. Jey Uso comes in with a hot tag. Miz capitalizes with the Mizdow distraction a little bit later. He hits the big boot for a near fall. We had a nice backslide counter off of Miz's clothesline attempt. Miz does the corner clothesline, and one of the Usos, I think it was Jay, reversed that into a backslide. I thought that looked pretty cool the way the reversal sequence went down. The Usos pulling out all the stops here with a submission hold. Jay Uso hits this, like, I don't even know. It was like an arm lock with his leg with a half Boston Crab. I kind of liked it. And it was cool to see, the Usos doing pulling out the technical prowess tonight. They were doing it all tonight. Well, not, at least at that point. Big super kick by Jay, and he goes for the splash, but he goes for like one of those like either like Shawn Michaels splashes from Forever Away or RVD frog splashes from Forever Away. Like he was so far away, it wasn't even funny. It was no way he was probably gonna hit him, but he was gonna try it anyway. But Miz gets out of the ring. He says, "You know what? I'm grabbing my titles. We're getting out of here. We're the A-listers. At least I'm the A-lister. We're getting out of here, basically." So they grab the titles, and they're about to leave. But Jimmy, Jay comes out there and he hits a suicide dive. He tries to at least, but he gets hit with a slammy, with the slammy thing. So much for the importance of that slammy. Hit him with it. But anyway, the Usos win, but Miz and Mizdow retain. And also, I thought it was cool that instead of Miz taking the suicide dive, he threw Mizdow in the way for him to take the suicide dive. I thought that was cool too. Overall, this match I liked it. I like that the Usos put out some different moves. That was cool. Happy to see Miz and Mizdow win though, because I didn't expect it to end this way though either. So I don't know. I liked it, but I don't know about the ending. So what'd you think?
Uh, it was an okay match. I do like that Mizdow does everything that the Miz does, but at the same time, I think it kind of takes away from the match itself. Like there's so much more they could do if you paid attention more to the match and not as much to, Mizdow doing a roll up when the Miz gets a roll up, or I don't think he should do everything that he does, but kind of pick your spots, just so you keep interest in the match and not just what Mizdow is doing, because that hurts the match too. But it was a good match. I don't like that it ended in a disqualification, but at the same time, I don't want the Usos to win the titles again. They've had them, and they had them for a while, so it's not like, they had them and then they lost them real quick. They had them for a good amount of time. So keep them with Miz and Mizdow for now. Maybe until the Ascension comes up and have the Ascension win them or something. But it was a good match. I didn't like that there wasn't that it wasn't at least like a ladder match. I think that would have been cool. Considering this is TLC. You know, and you know, I know a lot of people say like when they have Hell in a Cell, not every match has to be Hell in a Cell, obviously. But this is TLC. You have so many different options. Why can't every match have at least one of the stipulations?
And stairs.
Yeah, and stairs. But yeah, I thought it should have at least been a ladder match, especially for the tag team titles. How long has it been since we've seen a tag team title ladder match in the WWE? It's been a long time.
Yeah, it definitely has. Um, I like this match. I don't know. Does this continue the feud between them? I don't know if I really want to see much more of this feud because it does feel like the Usos just came off of the tag team title, so it's like it's not believable if they're gonna win it again. Do you think
Yeah.
this is gonna continue the feud because it was a disqualification?
No, I hope not, but I think it is. I mean, like I said, ideally I would want the Ascension or somebody to come up and feud with Miz and Mizdow or one of the other tag teams. You know, except for Slater Gator, we don't want that.
Come on, Slater. Come on, everybody wants that. Everybody wants that. Come on. Slater Gate is probably the most over team in the business right now, darn it.
No, no.
Slater Gate is great. Slater Gate is great. You know what? He Slater deserves a title for being in three one-man band and the one-man job. Like, he deserves it, man. Come on. Come on.
No.
But after that, we get a Byron Saxton sighting as he's interviewing Seth Rollins. And Seth Rollins says, if I win, because Byron Saxton was like, if you win, blah, blah, blah. And I don't even think he let him finish. I don't even think he let him finish. He said, if I win, are you out of your mind? When I win, I'm dedicating my victory tonight to two people. And I think we kind of got who the two people were. But, you know, he went into a little bit of explanation.
J&J
They
Security.
should be. Huh?
J&J Security, obviously. Clearly.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking. Or maybe Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, maybe.
Well, yeah.
Used to be
That's gonna
partnered up with them, so it makes sense. But he said they should be here, but they're at home watching TLC on the WWE Network. John Cena is gonna pay starting tonight. I don't have to pin or make John Cena submit. We've heard this a lot from Seth Rollins. All I have to do is do what I've done the past 2 weeks. I'm going to prove that the future has arrived. Poof. He said poof. Your title shot is gone. I think he said poof, or I probably made that up. Somebody said poof. Yes.
I just have a question.
Yes. Sure.
Stephanie and Triple H have to pay $9.99 a month?
I doubt it. I think every WWE superstar gets a free subscription to the network. I think.
Well, that's
I'm pretty sure.
Cool. That's why their subscription rates are down.
Probably, because that's what I heard. I thought that I heard someone say that everyone gets a free subscription to the network if you're a superstar or whatever. So I don't know.
Yeah, but
Not that they really. That shouldn't be a real
imagine...
thing though, because like it doesn't. You got a lot of money. You can take $9.99 out of my paycheck every month.
I wouldn't imagine they'd have a lot of time to watch it though. They're on the road like 300 some days a year.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know how they would do that. Seth Rollins said the future. He says, I'm going to prove that the future has arrived. Poof, your title is gone. I will stop at nothing until he, being John Cena, brings the authority back. So, anything about this interview in particular? Anything?
I really didn't watch it that much, so.
All right. So then we got before the stairs match, we got the anatomy of the stairs. And no, I didn't write down every detail of the anatomy of the stairs. I didn't write down any of them, actually. I just thought this was kind of cool because it kind of made the match seem more dangerous than it maybe looked on the outside. I don't know if you like this or not. What do you think of them doing the anatomy of the stairs thing?
It it was kind of cool and kind of dumb at the same time. Like they said they like said the weight of the bottom stairs and the weight of the top stairs and the fact that they're made of like, steel and whatever, and which I mean, if you're into math and science and all that, that's cool. But I just want to see somebody get hit with stairs. Like that's what I'm here for. This is what I want to see this match for. I don't want the trajectory of the stairs. I don't want. No, I mean, but it was cool, and they could have gone without it, but it was cool that they added that.
All right. So after that, they showed the anatomy of the stairs. That kind of lets you know, hey, we're gonna do a stairs match, okay? Probably, maybe. Yes, we did a stairs match next. And we had the Big Show going up against Big Red, as they like to call him now, Eric Rowan. So, I don't think there was anything in particular about this match that was just fantastic or anything. The main thing was that Big Show pinned Rowan. He put the steps on top of Rowan and laid down on Rowan to kind of pin Rowan, which kind of didn't make Rowan look weak. They played it up a lot at the end of the match, like saying that he's got to have some respect for Rowan because he had to use the stairs to get the pin. You got anything in particular about this match?
I didn't even think they technically had a feud, but whatever. I just, I'm probably the only person who doesn't like Big Show as a heel because he's too fun. Like, he's funny, he's, fun-loving guy. I, but, I mean, I guess it works. I definitely want to see more of Eric Rowan, though. So, if they since they built kind of booked him as being really strong, and the fact that Big Show had to cover him with stairs and then lay on the stairs, that's cool. That we at least we know, they're not just burying him like they did with Bray Wyatt back when he had his first feud with Cena. So
Yeah. I keep forgetting everything I want to say. I have stuff to say and I keep forgetting it.
you need to write
So
it down.
I actually started to write it down just now and then I didn't because I was like, all right, he's almost done, so I'll remember it. I don't I don't remember it at all. Oh, anyway, forget it. I do remember my first point though from earlier. Um, because we got a Total Divas commercial. It has nothing to do with Total Divas, but it does have something to do with Big E. I don't know if you guys caught it, but I don't. When they did the vignettes for the New Day when they first were gonna debut, and Big E started dancing, it was bad. It was bad. That's all I had because you were talking about how bad his dancing was, and oh my, it was terrible. Like it. Oh man. Anyway, so after that we got a Total Divas commercial. I think they played this on Raw once or twice before. Um, so that was kind of cool, I guess. Just promoting Total Divas. That's about it. If you watch it, it was cool. If you don't, it probably wasn't. Um, thinking of this commercial though, why didn't they play the Ascension commercial on here? Wouldn't that make sense? Like young tag team that you want
Yeah,
to kind of push a little bit.
but
Pay per view.
WWE and sense don't always go together. So
Like I mean, it would go together. Like I mean, you think about it, it's a good idea. Like young tag team, You're building them up really well in NXT. If you don't watch NXT, you don't know about them. It's a really short thing. Like why? I don't know. I don't know. But after that, we got a video package on the Rollins and Cena feud. And then obviously we're gonna get excuse me, John Cena versus Seth Rollins in a tables match. Um, I I don't know. Before they booked it as like whoever wins gets the number one contender spot, but Paul Heyman was like, if Cena loses, he loses his spot, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Seth Rollins gets the spot. So I don't know. I don't know. I guess if Seth Rollins would have won the match, he would. It doesn't really matter because Seth Rollins is Mr. Money in the Bank. He can do what he wants to anyway. So out of nowhere, Cena hit the Bulldog, and I thought it was over. Not really. He did hit a Bulldog though, and it was pretty quick. It was like at the beginning. It was kind of like when he hit the AA on Brock Lesnar at the match, and I thought it was over. Mercury and Rollins are going after Cena, and they break a table over the steel post outside of the ring. Rollins hit the freaking Skywalker this match, though. I thought that was cool. I haven't seen him hit that in a while, so I thought that was cool. Um, did you see Rollins go for that curb stomp through the table? If he would have did that, I would have.
Yeah.
That would have been like ridiculous. That was about as crazy as the Jeff Hardy Swanton trying to Swanton Bobby Lashley's head on the steel steps. Like that would have been about there if he would have hit it, obviously.
Yeah.
So the ref, I can't remember exactly how the ref got knocked down.
He's a
Probably a WrestleMania moment. What happened?
He's a ref. It doesn't take much. They get hit by a shoelace and they're out for 5 minutes.
He just tripped on his own feet and he was out. That's where we're gonna go. He was out. Cena hits an AA through the table, but the referee's out. So Cena wins, but Cena doesn't win yet, almost. So J&J Security or the New Shield, as they like to be called, J&J Security and Seth Rollins go for the triple power bomb through the table, but Cena decides he's not having that. He reverses it. He takes out Noble and Mercury, and he goes with the double AA through the table to Mercury and Noble because Rollins had gotten out the way. He said, forget that, bro. You're not doing that. So then we got to a point where Cena and Rollins were on the apron, and they both try to push each other through the table, but they both fall off at the same time. Muscles, I guess you could call it. I don't really know what hit hips, I guess. I don't really know what you would call it. Hit the tables at the same time, and they went through the table. I think it was actually 2 tables outside of the ring. They fell through those tables at the same time. The referee finally is like, oh, what a good nap. He wakes up and he's like, ding, 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 it's over. But who wins? They went through the table at the same time. So he heard the crash, and he was looking, and he was like, what happened? So Mike Chioda, wondering what in the world just happened, rings the bell. There's a referee conference. This made me feel like I was watching football. Like there was a conference of referees. We don't see that a lot in wrestling, so it made it look like they were about to go to the review booth and like see if the call on the field stands or not. So I think it's Chad Patton says that Cena wins, but John Cone says that Rollins wins. So Chioda, I thought Chioda was going to call it a draw. I don't know if you thought Chioda was going to call it a draw at this point. I was like, they're going to draw, and I'm going to be upset because it's going to be a draw. We're going to have a DQ from earlier, and I am going to have to quit watching this ever for life. But did you think it was going to be a draw? What were you thinking when Chioda was calling Lillian Garcia over?
I mean, I hate when they do this spot, and WWE does, or where did I wrote a note about this. I'm trying to see where I got it. Yeah, it's the typical, the ref's out and they both go through the table, and then the ref gets up and who really wins. Um, it's just dumb, and they do it all the time in tables matches, uh, or in like over the top rope battle royals, and then one ref will say this guy, another ref will say this guy. It's just dumb. I was afraid that they were gonna do a draw, but at least they restarted the match. That was at least a positive note on this, but.
Yeah, so Kyoto did restart the match, and basically what happened, kind of weird. I think it was a little unexpected. I didn't expect it. So Cena goes for an AA through the announce table, but the announce table decides it doesn't want to break. So,
Nope.
so, so Rollins just rolls right over the table, and Cena doesn't win again. And Big Show comes out because he's a valid member of the Authority. Now I remember what I was going to say about Big Show, um, being a heel and all. I every time I see Big Show, I just remember that time when he cried on TV, and I can't. That's why I can't take him seriously anymore, because he was like balling that that time during the Daniel Bryan thing, and it's just weird.
That one.
But Big Show, what?
That one time. You cried.
It's just weird. Like he's a big dude. Like you don't see big dudes like that crying every day. Would that make Andre the Giant cry like that? Come on,
I
come
would.
on. You wouldn't. Shut up. But
Yeah, cry.
but Big Show comes out and he tries to take out Cena. He goes for the choke slam, but Roman Reigns music hits and he's back. Just so you guys know. Um, and at this point, I was like, so they're gonna be Big Show beat Rowan. Is that feud over? Now they're gonna do Reigns Rowan, or I mean Reigns Big Show, or what? Where are they going with this now? Or is Reigns just gonna come in, Superman punch everyone, and then take the belt and leave? There we go. That's probably what's gonna happen. I don't know. What do you think they're gonna do? With that, like, like it was kind of random. Like it was a cool way to bring him back, I guess. But it was like, now what do we do?
This is how much I care. I was probably the only person who, when Roman Reigns returned, I was like, yeah, and? All he's going to do is Superman punch everybody, automatically get the number one contendership back again, and they're going to... And I know... I don't hate Roman Reigns by any stretch of the imagination. I just am not as impressed with him as WWE, tries to portray him as. The Superman punch is not impressive to me. He doesn't have really a complex moveset. He basically is Vince McMahon's wet dream, a big muscly guy with long hair that women love. That's what he is. And he needs to develop his character more and develop his moveset more. Even when he's on the mic and does promos, it's kind of boring, But were you done with your? Because
I was just gonna finish out with what happened with the rest of the match.
Okay. Well, finish.
I'm trying. You're too busy hating on Reigns over there. So Reigns hits a spear on Casey out of nowhere. No, he hits a spear.
It's constructive criticism.
Yeah, he hits a spear on Rollins, and then he hits a spear on Big Show, and then hits a Superman punch. Go figure. And then he hits a Superman punch on Seth Rollins, Who gets hit with an AA through a table for John Cena to win and be the number one contender for the reigning, defending heavyweight champion of the world? The one behind the one and
What?
21-1 or something. But yeah, Brock Lesnar. So they'll be facing off at Royal Rumble. Brock Lesnar's coming back, guys. I'm glad you guys didn't forget about him. He's the champion.
Who's that again? The name sounds familiar.
That's how I feel. Like it upsets me so bad that he's not. I mean, I understand he's got a part-time contract, but can't you make it to where you win the title and you stay on TV for a little bit? You can leave when you're not relevant anymore after you lose the title. But what'd you think?
First of all, I don't see the point of part-time contracts. I think that's just a waste of money. But I'm not Vince McMahon, so I'm not a billionaire, so I don't know. First of all, John, Mr. Cena. I'm being nice. I'm being respectful. I just want to let you know, you are not now, nor will you ever be Hulk Hogan. Stop with the red and yellow. Stop it. Stop it.
Because he's better. He's better.
No. And another question, and if there's little kids, earmuffs. I'm curious. Does John suck Vince's dick? Does Vince suck John's? Or do they like 69 each other? Because
why is this a real? What is with your hatred, man? Goodness. Look. This is the thing. Like this is the thing. Like Dolph Ziggler, we love him.
I love.
And when he doesn't get his chance, it's the booking, right? But Cena, who's probably worked hard. I mean, he's there now, but he's worked hard to get there. I feel like. But we can't blame the booking on that. We got to blame it on Cena. How are we gonna blame it? It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. I can't get it.
But the booking,
you blame the booking when you don't like it.
The booking doesn't make sense because nobody likes him. Why are they booking somebody that nobody wants to see anymore? People want to see Dolph Ziggler. But anyway, I'm trying not to hate on John anymore. It's cool. J&J Security did try to keep the table away from Cena a lot. They did the typical heels, kind of trying to. But then again, anytime anyone is against John Cena, they're automatically the face. So, and every time Cole says vintage Cena, I want to kick him in the balls because he's only been there for really 13, 14 years. It's not vintage. If you're the Undertaker, then it's vintage. Stop. It was a good match. It was a good match for Cena in the fact that, he was able to. It gives him an excuse to use weapons, so you can't, fault him for using the 5 moves of doom. Now he can use weapons. And he found a new weapon that he can use for the next 6 weeks. A guardrail. Which I just want to let him know that guardrails really aren't that heavy, so holding it up over your head is not that impressive, but he did it anyway. But I liked this match. I did. I don't like the outcome of it, and like I said, I wasn't really that impressed when Roman Reigns returned, because I know exactly what they're going to do with him. They're going to do the same thing they did with him before. Nothing's going to be different. I didn't like that John got hit with the Money in the Bank briefcase and then hugely no-sold it. He gets hit with it twice and he gets up like nothing happened. I'm like, really? You can't sell that a little bit? But, of course, Cena wins. Obviously, Seth Rollins didn't need to win this match because he is Mr. Money in the Bank, even though I think he's going to cash in and lose it like the past couple people have. John Cena cashed it in and lost it. What?
I'm gonna be so upset if they do that because I'm like excited to see Rollins as the champion. So I'm gonna be upset if they do that.
Yeah, I really want to see Rollins as the champions, but at the same time, I'm kind of, and I think it's just the way they're booking him. I'm getting a little bit bored with Rollins. Just the way he's always hiding behind security, the way he's hiding behind the authority. It's getting boring because it seems repetitive, um, and I don't really like the cowardice kind of heels. I like, you know, I would like to see him more like a heel, like Randy Orton can be at times, where he's gonna do something, but he's not gonna hide behind somebody. He's gonna do it and then be like, yeah, what? What are you gonna do? I just don't like the fact that he's like, cowers behind people when, he gets into a situation that he doesn't want to deal with. But I would be really excited to see him as the champion, you know? Um, then maybe, I don't know exactly what's going on with Daniel Bryan, if he's ever coming back, if he's finally getting strength back in his arm. But that would be a cool like feud to see for the title, something like that. Um, but yeah, this was a good match. I'll give it that. Um, but it was one where you kind of knew the outcome anyway, because like I said, Seth didn't need to win. He has the Money in the Bank, so
Did you hear the Rollins chants?
no.
I heard some "Let's Go Rollins" chants for a little while there. Um, I think it was probably during the first part of the match. I thought that was pretty cool though.
Yeah,
But I don't know if you caught this either. Cena kind of took credit for winning that match. So like at the end, like he was going up the ramp and he like took all the credit for winning that match. That was my one complaint.
yeah,
Like Reigns practically won that match for him. But like he was like that. He didn't say this, but it was similar to this. He was like, "That's all me" or something like that. Like I can't remember exactly what he said. I didn't write it down. I just remember it.
yeah. That's what I don't like is he doesn't really give credit where it's due.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you ever got a chance to listen to that CM Punk interview,
Not yet,
but
no. Why?
but but I think he mentioned that a little bit in there too. I think. But next we had a Nikki Bella interview, and I, do you have the details of this interview? Because the only thing I got from this interview is I have a lot of things that she doesn't.
That's about all I got because I was like, I don't really care what you have to say. Shut up.
And I know Bree said something, but I
They were talking about how everyone was like, sisters have issues, but we're cool. Blood is thicker than water. I, I was just like, okay, sure, whatever.
I don't know why though. I kind of like Nikki Bella as the champion. I don't know why. It looks good on her for some reason. I don't know why.
I
But
I mean, I only like seeing it on her because I don't want AJ to have it again because we've seen her as a champion enough. And right now, currently on the main roster, the only one that I liked having it other than Nikki was Paige, and Paige is going to Total Divas, so that means she's pretty much nothing anymore.
why
So
why why did they do that? Like seriously, why? Well, like what? Why does going to Total Divas mean you can't win? Like, don't you want to see the life as a champion on Total Divas? That's what I want to see. Can we see that? Like why is that? I mean, why do you have to be like dead to the world like once you get on Total Divas? It's weird.
I mean, it's unless they bring like Charlotte or Sasha Banks up, I don't see anyone else winning the title that it's gonna anyone's gonna care.
Yeah, I kind of like to see Natalia win the title, but I don't see her doing. She's on Total Divas too, so it's like the same situation. I kind of want to see, and I know it's weird, but I kind of want to see Alicia Fox win the title. I like Alicia Fox a lot.
Yeah,
Kind of want
I
to see her
feel
win
like
the title.
they book her too much as like a jobber or like an addition to like a team. She's always
Yeah,
like it's always like the Bellas and Alicia Fox in like a six diva tag team match or something like that.
yeah,
And then they switch her. They do the same thing with her that they do with Cesaro. One week she's a face, next week she's a heel, next week she's a face. It's just confusing.
yeah. So after that interview, we got the Nikki Bella versus AJ Lee match for the Divas Championship. Do you have anything for this match? Because I really didn't get to watch this match. I actually went back on and tried to go watch it, but I just couldn't. Like, I didn't want to run it back too late, so I was just like, I watched it from like the halfway point. Did you
It was
have anything with this one?
to me it was just boring. Watching this,
Besides the beautiful people finish, besides that beautiful people finish. Other than that, that's about all I got.
no, it was just, and maybe this is because we just watched an amazing NXT show the other day, but watching this Divas match was kind of like watching grass grow and watching paint dry at the same time. It was just dull. And Bree was actually kind of getting annoying on the outside, yelling, "Go, Nikki!" And like I was like, I, I knew AJ wasn't gonna win the title because from what I thought, AJ was leaving, and I guess now she's not. I don't know. But this match is why we need Charlotte or Sasha Banks up on the main roster. We need, I mean, their match got, like I said in our NXT review, that match got a "This is Wrestling" chant. That never happens in Divas matches in WWE. So,
And the bad part about it is it could. Like, it really could. Even with the people they have up there, they're just not. They're not doing it right.
yeah,
Like, I was legitly excited for this match when I going into it for some reason.
I mean, I wasn't because I knew they were going to do the same thing they always do. They and it doesn't make sense. They have to see the ratings and the attendance and whatever that they got from NXT. Why doesn't that equate? Why doesn't that kick in their mind and say, "Oh, this is what fans want to see"? Why? It just doesn't make sense.
I don't. I really don't know. Um, a couple of things I did take from this match though. Nikki Bella hit a nice springboard roundhouse kick. Um, Nikki sprays AJ Lee with I don't even know what it was because the referee was distracted because Brie Bella was getting thrown out of the match. And then she sprays her with something, hits the rack attack, and wins. I thought this was very beautiful people esque because the people do this all the time when they're in big matches.
Yeah.
Um, if you know what I'm talking about, you probably know what I'm talking about. I'm sure Casey knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
You didn't have anything else for this match, did you? I don't know.
It just it disappointed me. Really disappointed me.
Yeah. I got a friend that's gonna come on the show hopefully at some point in the near future, and hopefully she can give us her input because I feel like she's gonna feel the same way we do about this. It's
Was
just
she the one
ridiculous
that
to
was
me.
supposed to be on tonight?
Yeah.
Uh,
I feel like she's gonna
Where you
feel.
at, girl? Where you at, girl? Where you at? What are you watching right now? Where you at?
Yeah, you're the one watching. But after that, we got an interview. I think this dude's name is Todd. I can't remember exactly what his name is, but got an interview with him backstage with Roman Reigns. He said, "I told the whole world I'd be back. I'd I'd be back to make an impact." He said, "Spearing Big Show through a table, punching Seth Rollins in the mouth. I'm here to declare that my I'm here to declare my spot in the Royal Rumble. Wait till you see me this year. Now that will be an impact. Believe that." So I don't know. I'm kind of excited because I feel like Reigns is gonna win the Rumble.
Didn't he win the
But
Rumble last year?
no, Batista won last year.
I thought he won the Rumble.
He
I don't
no,
know.
he didn't win because he set the record for eliminating people and then got
Yeah,
eliminated at the end.
yeah.
So I don't know. I'm kind of excited because I'm just excited to see new people win the title. Like I don't hate Cena, but like I'm just tired of seeing the same things over and over again.
Yeah.
And I am terribly tired of Brock Lesnar. I've been tired of Brock Lesnar since he beat the Streak.
I was tired of Brock Lesnar before that.
I like Brock Lesnar, but it's like the part-time thing just doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah.
It's just stupid to me.
One thing in this interview that kind of confused me and like Roman said, you think what I did last year was impressive? See what I do this year. And I was like, Roman, it's still 2014. I think he was like talking about 2015, and I'm like, dude, you're kind of a little early.
Of course, your hatred of Roman Reigns will come out during this promo, during this interview, darn it.
It's not hate. It's just I noticed that he said that, and I'm like, it's not. No, what? You didn't do
Yeah, I
anything
understand what you mean.
technically.
What you mean? I didn't catch that though. I didn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying that much attention. But after that, we got Kane versus Ryback in a chairs match. Um, just some big things from this match. Ryback just anytime he takes control, he always goes the big guy, and I like love it every time he does it. He should just do that all the time. He just after every movie, his just go the big guy, and I would just be fine.
He hits a punch.
I love how
Big guy.
yeah, like he locks up with someone, the big guy. That would be great. So I love how Ryback doesn't do a legit splash. He did do a legit splash tonight, but most of the time he just goes to the top rope and falls forward as his splash. I love that. Like I love that. And CM Punk, I don't care how rough Ryback is. Ryback's the funniest dude I have seen in my life. I love Ryback. Gosh, Ryback's the best, man. I love Ryback. Um, so they started, going to town with the chairs a little bit, especially Kane early on. He had a snake eyes on Ryback with the chair. A little bit later, though, after Ryback hit a spine buster on the two chairs in sitting position, he started to wear out Kane with some chairs. So turnabout fair play there. Kane reverses the meat hook clothesline as he threw the chair at Ryback's arm, I guess technically at this point.
Yeah.
And then Kane hits a choke slam for a near fall. Then we get I don't remember what happened to let Ryback get back on top, but we got a meat hook clothesline into a shell shock for the win by Ryback. So Ryback wins. Ryback wins this, which isn't surprising. I don't know what they're doing with Kane right now. It just doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I don't know if they're just using him to put people over, or if they're just using him to put over. I don't know. 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 I if he just doesn't want to retire yet. So, they're just putting him in random matches. So, what'd you think about Ryback? I mean, what'd you think about the big guy against Kane?
I think again the chair stipulation in this match made the match. I think if it was just a one-on-one match, it would have been really dull. Because I really like both Kane and Ryback, but I think at least Kane is he's getting older, so it's like he's not as agile as he used to be. You could tell his age is catching up, but like DJ said, I don't know if it's he doesn't want to retire or what's going on. But they actually did bend a chair like I've never seen a chair bent before. It was like mangled. I was like, how do you do that with a human body? That it was disturbing. And Ryback took what I can only explain as a fastball, but it was a chair to the arm and face. Kane kind of just threw it at him, and I was like, ow. Ow. Um, but yeah, it was a good chairs match. They took a lot of good shots. I kind of think this almost feels like a filler match slash filler feud, because it's really not a feud per se. It's just kind of trying to get Ryback over again, which I guess is working. It's like, I mean, they had to re-debut him basically like they had to re-debut Bray Wyatt. So it's like, and I think Bray Wyatt's re-debut. Well, Bray Wyatt wasn't ever not over, but they still re-debuted him after Cena buried him. And I think he's more, after his re-debut, he's more over than Ryback is right now. Ryback still needs a little, work on getting over more with the fans. But this was a good match to kind of, push him a little bit farther along on his, build up. But yeah.
Yeah, I think Ryback's re-debut was needed more than Bray Wyatt's, because think about Bray Wyatt's, he was already over pretty much. Ryback went from Ryback Feed Me More to Rybaxel. Now he's back to Feed Me More again, which I want to see some more Curtis Axel. I like Curtis Axel, and I want to see more of him, please. Why not, man? Curtis Axel's good. I like her. But I feel like these filler matches that we get, I wish they would do it like other companies kind of do it, where they kind of put in a random match where like there's nothing really involved. It just kind of gets you acclimated to some guys you don't really see a lot. Like I would like to see like maybe like an NXT match or something on there or something. That would be kind of cool, just to kind of get us acclimated to what we're gonna see later on or something. I don't know, because I think some of the filler matches just don't make sense. Like this one did, but like we'll talk about the other one in a second.
Yeah,
I think it may be the next match.
Like if they did like, just to put a little, if they did like an NXT 6-man tag ladder match or something like that, that would give a chance to show a couple of the guys from NXT off that maybe if somebody doesn't have the net, or somebody at the show doesn't have like the network or something, or if you don't watch NXT because you don't really get it into it, you see something like that on TLC and you go, oh, okay, maybe I should tune into this. But
yeah, and plus it would kind of give them that big name status too. Like,
yeah,
like you see them on a pay-per-view, you're like, oh, okay. Like, because a lot of times I know people don't watch stuff outside of WWE and probably wouldn't even watch NXT because they don't feel like the guys are like big name enough or whatever, So if you kind of like give some exposure to them, they're like, oh, okay, that looks kind of cool. I'll check that out. Did you have anything else to say after that?
No, I just have a point after the video that I was gonna make, but that'll be for
All right,
after.
all right. Um, so after that, we had Rusev versus Jack Swagger for the United States Championship, a match I just really didn't understand. Um, we're getting Rusev and Jack Swagger again, and Jack Swagger's doing the same thing again. So why was this match needed? I don't understand. But um, so I don't know if you caught this, but I fell Rusev tonight because Rusev, he's going for his little pre-match thing. He does like this little stretch thing, like kind of makes me feel like he's like a sumo a little bit. And he does a little stretch thing, but he sells the leg while he's doing the stretch thing. Did you catch that? It was so
No.
cool. Like he tried to plant his foot down, and he like lifted his foot up really quick, like it was like really tender. It was really cool to see, like that he was still selling that ankle. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Lana was gonna cut a promo though, but Swagger does not care about Lana's promo. So he just interrupts. Swagger goes for a Swagger bomb, but it gets reversed. Rusev goes for his patented kick, but Swagger locks in the Patriot lock. I think they did do a good job in this match of, making it feel like Rusev might lose. I thought that was a good thing they did, but because there was some points in this match where I was like, oh, he might actually, tap out here, especially with the Patriot lock. And considering he was selling it like he was at the beginning of the match, it would make sense anyway. So after that, Rusev tries to lock in the Accolade, but Swagger gets to the ropes. Rusev pulls Swagger back to the middle of the ring, and he locks in the Accolade. It looks like Swagger's fading, and I was like, okay, here we go. They're going to end it the same way they ended it last time. I don't even know why they're doing this match. This match was a waste of time. I'm done. I quit. Bye, WWE. See you later. No, but they didn't. They didn't. He locks it in. It looks like he's fading, but Swagger, he's trying to pick up Rusev, and he does. And I think he actually locked in the Patriot lock off of this. And then we got a big kick to Swagger on the outside of the ring. This looks like Swagger's going to get finished by he's going to get counted out. I find it weird, though. I don't know. It doesn't make logical sense to me that when someone's on the outside of the ring selling that they just got knocked out by a kick, if you're going to get up at 9 randomly and jump back into the ring, you should at least move just a little bit, just so it doesn't look like you just died, and then you're just going to come back to life. Only the Undertaker can do that, so, no. Because, Swagger was, completely still until about 8, and then he got up immediately and jumped back in the ring. I'm like, what? I thought he was done. I thought he was out, It doesn't make a ton of sense to me. Well, Rusev comes back in and locks in the Accolade, and Swagger's kind of fading like he was before, and the ref stops the match, which was weird because he kind of faded the exact same way he did before when he powered out. How do you know he's out of it? Like, he touched his arm and it was limp. That doesn't mean he's out of it. You got to do a little bit more than that. Like,
you're supposed to.
Oh, he's done. He's done. What is? They don't do that anymore. Why? You're not done after one limp arm down thing. If that was the case, people would have lost a lot more back in the day. Come on. I said back in the day like I am, really old. But that's okay. I just don't understand the use of this match. So, Swagger, I understand it kind of made Swagger look powerful because he the first person to get out of the Accolade, I think. But it really didn't because he still lost to the Accolade. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. This match, it wasn't really that good. And I like Jack Swagger. I hope they do something with him besides feed him to Rusev every time they possibly can. I don't really know what they're gonna do with Rusev though, because they want to go with this America Russia thing, but you're kind of running out of guys. I kind of wish what they would do, but I think they would end up making Cesaro job, and I don't want that to happen. They should do like Cesaro versus Rusev, and then it could be like the battle of the countries if you want to keep the country thing going. And I think that would be kind of fun, especially see Rusev in the ring with Cesaro. I like Rusev. I do. I like Rusev, but I just don't know where they're gonna go with it. So what'd you think about this match? Anything in particular? Were you asking the same question I was?
The only thing I got out of this in the pre-match was after an attack on SmackDown, Zeb Coulter's leg was broken, requiring surgery, and that's why the feud is. I don't know. This was a useless match that did not need to be. It was basically only on there to have a United States Championship match. That's really all it was there for.
And if they would have added a stipulation to this, that probably would have helped the match a little bit and helped the feud a little bit. If you're gonna continue this feud from like forever ago, if you're gonna continue this feud, like if you add a stipulation, like oh okay, so the feud's still kind of heating up. It just they still have
If this was like a tables match, it would have been cool, you know, because then, you know, if Jack Swagger won a tables match, then Rusev could still say, well, technically I still haven't been pinned or submitted, and build it up like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like EC3 did when he lost that First Blood tag team match, but they still call him undefeated. So
Yeah.
there you go. They could have did that. I don't know. I don't know why they didn't do that. Why aren't you writing for them? Come on, man. Why are you here? You should be
Hire
writing
me.
for WWE.
You have to know nothing about wrestling for the past 20 years to work there.
All right. So after this useless match, I feel like it was, we get a commercial on the final battle between Cena and Lesnar, which kind of makes me happy because that means that Lesnar's this much closer to losing the title. And we won't have to see Cena and Lesnar again. I didn't think Cena and Lesnar was bad, but it's not necessarily as appealing to me anymore.
It's kind of turning into the like Cena Orton 15. Like they've had so many matches that you're just like, really, do we have to see this again? And I really do not want to see John Cena. Not even fully for the fact that I hate John Cena. I just don't think anyone should be another 16-time. Like, I think that should be something specifically for Ric Flair to be a 16-time world champion.
Yeah, because even before Cena came around, I was thinking Triple H will be the one to pass it, if anything else, because he had like freaking 11 when he was like in his prime. And I was like, so, it'd be Triple H to pass it, obviously. And then he didn't pass it. I didn't even know Cena had that many title runs. I was like, oh, well, that's a lot.
Yeah. I just think it would be disrespectful to him, Because, I mean,
yeah.
I forgot who it was, but I know there was a guy that Flair wanted to mentor and be like his manager, and WWE wouldn't allow it. I forgot who it was. But it's just like it feels like they care about guys like Flair just for their name and just like to, they don't actually care about them personally.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like the streak. Like, it wasn't Undertaker's decision to end it, and it should have been.
Yeah.
He was the one putting in the work,
Yeah.
And making sure the matches were, those classic matches. So I feel like, with the person he was with, but still, like, he was half of that equation. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
So next we got a video package on what's going down with Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt. This video package was a little bit different. I freaking love Bray Wyatt. I've loved Bray Wyatt practically since he's been in in WWE. I didn't get to see him in NXT, but I remember Husky Harris, and then I look at Bray Wyatt now, and I'm like, I'm in love. Um, and Dean Ambrose is like the perfect guy too. Like it reminds me of the if you watch Ring of Honor, the Tommaso Ciampa, Michael Elgin type of storyline, where it was like they were both kind of off the deep end. I like that. And you know what? This was the main event, and I was so excited about it because they gave Dean and Bray the main event. That hopefully tells us something that's going to happen in the future. I'd like to see a title feud with these two, honestly, sometime in the next little bit. Hope not next little bit. It's not going to happen in the next little bit, but maybe post WrestleMania or something. That would be cool.
Yeah.
This I don't know. Do you have anything to say about the video package? I really liked it. I like the editing in it. I like everything about the video package. It kind of just
It was okay. I like more of the video packages like we had on NXT where it's not necessarily them talking like past clips and stuff. It's just like featuring the one that they had with the Lucha Dragons. They weren't talking. It was just a cool video edited. But it was a good kind of filling you in on what's going on kind of a thing in case you weren't 100% sure what's going on. It kind of filled you in, and the editing was cool.
yeah. I think for this particular feud though, the talking is very important
Yeah,
because the storyline involved. I think that's what made the video package so cool to me because like hearing Bray's promos back and how like personal it kind of got. I thought that was kind of cool. But was I the only one excited that this was the main event?
I was excited.
I just want to make sure. Um, I was very excited. I don't know if you noticed this, but I did. Bray didn't do the "I'm here tonight." It made it kind of feel a little bit more serious. To
Yeah,
me, I thought that was kind of cool. He had a lot more cell phones out tonight. Excuse me, he had a lot more cell phones out tonight than he usually has. It felt like it was a ton out there, and maybe it was just because they were maybe in a bigger arena. I'm not really sure. It looked like everybody had their cell phone out though. But Bray's coming down to the ring, and Ambrose throws a ladder at him pre-match. Ambrose does not care. He's gonna do what he wants to. I thought it was cool that Ambrose jumps off the pre-show announce table to go after Bray. I thought that was cool because it kind of shows you that for one, the pre-show announce table isn't that far away from where they are, and it was kind of just cool to see the pre-show announce table be used like that. Alex Riley looked petrified when Dean Ambrose came over there. I don't know if you saw Alex Riley's face, but he was like, "Oh God, it's Dean." um. So did you catch that kendo stick shot to the head? I'm pretty sure.
yeah,
I think it was Bray. Bray got hit in the head with a kendo stick.
yeah.
like I'm pretty sure it was in the head. I don't know if he meant to do it, but I saw that and I was like, Dean, you can't do that, man. You can't do that. It's against the rules. You can't hit that man in the head. But
Dean doesn't follow rules.
see, and that was cool too, cause like it's kind of like an unwritten rule a little bit in WWE, and like Dean unstable Ambrose kind of does what he wants. I like that. I don't think he meant to do it, but it was cool nonetheless. Um, Bray caught Dean with an uppercut when he was on the top rope, and Dean fell through the table on the outside. I I thought that was pretty cool how that uppercut just let him. So Bray Wyatt decides to set up a kendo stick in the corner where it's like pointing out at Dean Ambrose, and then he throws Dean Ambrose at it. I thought that was a pretty cool way to use a kendo stick. Um, Ambrose did a diving leg drop when Bray was draped between the top and middle rope. It kind of looks like the Michael Elgin leg drop, except he doesn't flip when he's doing it, if you know what I'm talking about. So Dean goes for the dirty deeds after that and reversed to the Sister Abigail, but that was reversed into what ended up being a ridiculous lariat by Bray Wyatt. I don't know if you caught that lariat, but there's been some lariats recently that just look ridiculous. I don't know what it is about the people throwing them. Like Luke Harper's looks really good. Bray Wyatt, when he throws a lariat, looks really good. I like the pendulum lariat. Like some of these lariats, like I've never been so impressed with a clothesline in my life. That's crazy. That ended up being a near fall. We got another version of the pendulum lariat tonight, though. Like Bray was throwing Dean back in the ring. Dean spins around and hits him with the pendulum lariat. A little while later, Ambrose had dropped an elbow, so Ambrose decided he wanted to go crazy, and he wanted to put Bray Wyatt on tables and drop as many elbows as possible. Well, he puts Bray Wyatt on the table. He gets on top of a ladder outside of the ring. He drops an elbow. Well, he wasn't done there. He goes again, puts him on another table, and then gets on top of a bigger ladder and drops an elbow on him there. I don't think he was done either. So at that point, he walks Wyatt to the ring, like helps him to the ring. Wyatt out of nowhere hits a Sister Abigail on Dean Ambrose. I actually thought it was over right here. I was excited. I was like fanboying out trying to cheer for Bray Wyatt tonight. And I actually thought he was going to lose, which was really, really disheartening to me. Because he kept getting hit with so many moves. I was like, oh no, he's going to lose. But he hit the Sister Abigail for a near fall. And he decides to go for it again, but it's a roll-up for a near fall. A little bit later, Dean decides to... He looks at this monitor. He goes under the ring, he looks at this monitor, and he sees something in the monitor. I thought he was looking at himself. But he wasn't. He sees this huge ladder on the stage. So he goes and grabs it. He grabs the biggest ladder they had. I think this may have been the second biggest ladder they had because the other one behind it, but we'll say it's the biggest ladder they had. He grabs it and he's gonna try to drive his elbow through Bray Wyatt through another table, actually the Spanish announce table. So he's gonna drive his elbow through him, but he actually does do it. It didn't look like... I thought Bray was gonna maybe move out of the way or something, and that was gonna be the opening, but he didn't. He hits him with that. He pulls out, he's got the TV monitor as they get back into the ring. I think he ended up pinning him, but it was a near fall, and he pulls the monitor out, and he's going to hit Bray with the monitor. He's like, I'm gonna use this monitor, darn it. He goes towards Bray, and the monitor jerks him back because the monitor's still plugged in. Well, you know what? Dean doesn't care. He's going to run at him a little bit harder. He goes, a little bit harder, and the monitor explodes. Literally exploded. I don't know how they did this without killing Dean or electrocuting Dean or whatever. But the monitor explodes. Bray Wyatt hits Sister Abigail. And I am following the buzzards for the rest of the night. Bray Wyatt wins. And I was so surprised. Like, I came to this match, I was like, as much as I love Ambrose, like, for some reason I love Bray Wyatt even more. And I was like, I hope Bray Wyatt wins this match. But he did. But he did. He did win this match, sorry. So what'd you think? What'd you think of this match?
Well, first of all, they forgot the full name of the show. It's tables, ladders, chairs, stairs, and kendo sticks. You guys to get the kendo sticks, and we haven't seen kendo sticks in a while, so that was refreshing. I love both Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose, especially in a feud together, because you literally have no idea what they're gonna do next. They even used a leg of a broken table as a weapon. Who would think of that? It was awesome. The only thing I question with WWE is I've seen TV short out, and that's what they said happened with the monitor. It must have shortened out. I've never seen a TV explode like that when it shorts out. Like that that would burn your house down if that happened. Like, but it was kind of cool. Really good match. I mean, there was so much going on that I didn't even write a lot of notes because there was like I didn't want to look away and miss anything because with those two you never know what they I mean. You could look down for a second and they're back in catering.
Dude,
Like,
I was sitting there typing away. Like I'm trying to keep up with this match. I'm like, no, wait, let me
yeah,
have
I'm curious to see are they going to continue this feud? What's going to go on? Because I don't want like I love both of them and I still want to see them on my TV every week. And hopefully they either keep this feud going or put them in other feuds and stuff like that. Because I don't want either of them to be lost in the shuffle anywhere. Because we haven't even had characters like Dean Ambrose or Bray Wyatt in a long time, if ever. So, to have somebody like that, it just makes it more of an exciting show.
Yeah, I got. Do you think Bray Wyatt, character-wise, is like the next Undertaker? Because that's what he gives me that vibe, like the creepy vibe. Although he's never gonna be undefeated at WrestleMania.
Yeah, he, he
But,
kind of, and Dean Ambrose too almost reminds me of like a little bit of Undertaker mixed with a little bit of like Mankind. That they have a little bit of a lot of different superstars kind of mixed into one, which makes a completely unique character, and they pull it off so well. Like, I think that's actually them. I don't think it's characters. I think they're naturally that crazy.
I, I mean, because I feel like Bray Wyatt, like I hate it when they send Bray Wyatt out first. Like I feel like his entrance is so like unique that like they need to like the person he's competing against needs to watch it, you know?
And I
Because
feel
I
like
can't.
I feel
You go
like
ahead.
the same way. Like Dean needs to come out first because Dean's that kind of guy who he's gonna go right to the ring and he's ready. He's gonna bring out a kendo stick before the match even starts. He's ready.
It's gonna light the ring on fire.
I, don't give him ideas. He might do it.
um, what were your overall thoughts about this pay per view? Was it greater than NXT or
No,
Evolution?
not even close. Not even close.
Well,
I did have a
but before you continue, I don't want to cut you off, but I just thought about something. And I know I just did cut you off, but I don't want to cut you off. Um, from
sure.
what I heard, from what I heard, the WWE superstars were trying to raise the bar because the R Evolution was so good. Do you think do you think it was better because of R Evolution, or do you think it would have been this way? It would have been the same way before.
Except for the Dean Ambrose Bray Wyatt match, I didn't really see any raising of bars at all. Um, I mean, there wasn't any really bad matches or anything, but it was just the same. I don't think, and you know, Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose are still in that category of the NXT superstar. Like they're young, they are innovative, they think outside the box. Um, but I our evolution is still, head and shoulders better than this. I mean, even I don't even know if the Royal Rumble is going to compete with uh, our evolution. It was just that good of a show. And actually, one of my notes that I have two notes that I wanted to keep at the end of the show. One is a friend of mine from work who I told him to watch our reviews a while back, and he did. He actually watched our Evolution. That was the first time he's watched anything of NXT, and he was blown away. So that just shows you what a good show it was. He was so impressed. But also, I love how Cole always points out things that are trending worldwide on Twitter. But I always want to point out that it doesn't necessarily mean it's good, positive tweets. I'm sure a lot of that trending worldwide is, negative stuff like, Cole, shut the hell up. Like, they just because something's trending worldwide doesn't mean it's positive. Uh, but those are really the only points that I wanted to make. But just the fact that my friend from work, that was the first time he'd watch NXT and he was that impressed, just shows you how good of a product it is. And he's a WWE fan, so he watches Raw and SmackDown every week, and for him to be impressed that much, it shows you what a good show it is. So if you don't watch NXT, definitely go watch it.
Or at least get yourself some exposure and watch our Evolution if you're not gonna watch it, consistently.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna be able to watch it consistently.
Yeah.
Overall, I thought it was pretty good. I don't even think this was better than Survivor Series, honestly.
Yeah.
But I thought it was pretty good. It had its good moments and it had its why moments, but I liked it nonetheless. Anytime a pay-per-view's coming on, I'm pretty excited for it. So we're starting the road to WrestleMania, so that's gonna be a fun time. Um, the main key is WrestleMania, though. I'm I'm wondering if WrestleMania is gonna be what it was last year. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But I just wanna thank everyone who came out and watched this video. I really appreciate it. If you stayed this long and you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to subscribe if you want, more content. My throat was terribly dry tonight. I don't really know why. Um, I tried my best to get through this review, but like I was struggling really bad. I was trying. I had to like leave and go get something to drink to try to not die from throat dryness or whatever you die from if your throat is dry. but uh, but
That's
I
the
appreciate
technical
everybody.
term.
What?
That's the
What?
technical term. Throat dryness.
Yeah, that young throat dryness. I didn't want to die from that, so had to had to be smart about it. Go grab something to drink. Um, but feel free to follow me on Twitter because it's right there, right under my name, over there in that left corner. Or if you're watching from some other place that maybe makes it look weird, it may be in the corner. So, but it's down there. Um, you can follow me if you want to. I'll talk to you. I had a nice little conversation with a guy that commented on my video not too long ago. So, um, if you comment on the video, I'll talk to you. Don't worry. Don't worry. Casey, any closing remarks?
Follow me on Twitter. It's down in the corner, or if you're watching this upside down for some reason, it's up in the corner. I don't know why you would do that, but hey, to each his own. But definitely check out, if you haven't checked out NXT, um, go watch it. If nothing else, at least when you see it on, watch their pay-per-views or special events. The Our Evolution, even the past ones that they've had, Fatal Four Away, and then the one before that. It
Arrival. What it is?
Arrival, yeah. Um, it's a great show. A lot of young talent and a lot of guys that if you don't have Ring of Honor, if you don't get Ring of Honor in your area, if you don't get other promotions, these a lot of these guys are from those promotions, so it just gives you a new dynamic in WWE, especially if you've been a fan for the past uh, 10, 15 years. It's kind of gotten dull. This is definitely kind of a breath of fresh air. But definitely go check that out. Follow me on Twitter. Message me, tweet me. I do reply. So yeah, there's that.
All right. Using my throat's not this dry, guys, so I don't struggle to make it through these reviews for the majority of the time. But we got some videos coming up for you this week. Using the normal videos that we do, TNA reviews, NXT reviews. Even though TNA's not having a legit show, we still like to talk about it as much as we can. So TNA got a new logo, by the way. If you haven't checked it out, you should go check it out. It's kind of cool. It's probably gonna take some time to get used to though. So TNA review on Wednesday, Thursday NXT review, the fallout from our ocean. So it's gonna be interesting. And then NFL picks video around Friday, Saturday area. Yes.
Yeah. Also, this week is a big week in WWE. We're gonna have Raw is on Monday. We don't do Raw reviews, but Raw is on Monday. Super SmackDown is on Tuesday, and then Wednesday is Tribute to the Troops. I don't know if we're gonna do a video about Tribute to the Troops, but it's on. It's gonna be on USA, so check that out. But I just wanted to add that in there in case anyone didn't know. You don't want to miss that. Especially it's for the troops, so gotta give them their respect for what they do. And it's always a pretty cool show to see.
Yeah, it definitely is. So feel free to check out any of the other videos we've done. We've done some extra videos, not just reviewing shows. We've talked about a lot of things. Shane McMahon and anything else you can think of that they may want to check out.
Every single video that I'm in that features.
Yeah, every video that includes Casey would be one to probably check out. Every video that includes me, that's probably all of them. every video that includes me, there you go.
Every video that has a John Cena rant, which is all of them.
That's all of them too. But I appreciate you guys coming by. Thank you guys once again. Peace.